I have come back in time to reveal the events of the future!
The Simpsons has predicted some major historical events and some completely random things like this.
Do you care who the next president is?
No.
Come with me.
As we enter 2025, global headlines are dominated by unsettling news about Pope Francis's fragile condition and prolonged hospitalization, intensifying worldwide anxiety. Amid these somber times, The Simpsons emerges as an unlikely oracle, having repeatedly predicted events that mirror our current reality. With satirical precision, the show has forecast everything from political reversals to technological breakthroughs. One particularly chilling prediction involves the untimely demise of a pope, a storyline that now rings disturbingly true: Trump's return. Few moments in The Simpsons' history have generated as much buzz as the prophetic twist in the episode Bart to the Future. Originally aired in 2000, the episode humorously envisioned a future where Donald Trump and his tumultuous populist leadership came to power.
Picture going around online this month. It claims to show a screenshot of a 2002 episode of The Simpsons that eerily mirrors real-life events. It shows Donald Trump touching a glowing orb with two Middle Eastern-looking men. Well, last month, President Trump did just that with the King of Saudi Arabia and the President of Egypt.
At the time, the storyline was pure satire. However, when Trump's election in 2016 and his subsequent return to office in January 2025 turned the narrative into reality, the prediction's impact was nothing short of astonishing. In Bart to the Future, viewers are introduced to a dystopic vision of America marked by chaotic fiscal policies, public disillusionment, and widespread governmental dysfunction, all hallmarks of Trump's presidency. The episode uses razor-sharp wit to underscore the absurdity of contemporary politics, offering a hyperbolic glimpse at America's struggles with economic collapse, contentious policy decisions, and an ever-deepening political divide. As 2025 unfolds, the reality of Trump's second coming reinforces the idea that what was once dismissible comedy now mirrors our political landscape with an unsettling degree of accuracy. Moreover, the episode's mix of ironic humor and stark social commentary underscores a deeper truth: that political satire, regardless of its exaggeration, often contains elements that later crystallize into real-world events. Bart to the Future serves as both entertainment and a cultural wake-up call, reminding us how the whimsical predictions of a cartoon can closely parallel the tumult of modern democracies. The Simpsons, through this episode, force us to examine the volatile nature of political power and the profound consequences that can ensue when theory and reality converge. The virtual reality revolution. In a striking forecast of technological advancements, the episode Future Visions presents a future where immersive virtual reality is part of everyday life. Originally conceived as a playful exploration of how technology might radically reshape human experience, the episode introduces viewers to a revolutionary virtual reality headset that allows users to transcend physical boundaries and interact with digital worlds. This satirical glimpse into the future bears an uncanny resemblance to the modern Apple Vision Pro, which now enables a seamless blend of augmented and virtual reality. Future Visions is not just a flight of fancy, it is a commentary on the transformative potential of technology. By imagining a world where virtual landscapes are as vivid and real as physical ones, the episode compelled viewers to reconsider the nature of human interaction and entertainment. Today, as cutting-edge VR and AR devices redefine how we work, learn, and play, the parallels with the episode become increasingly apparent. The Simpsons' prediction resonates with those witnessing the growing trend of digital immersion, influencing everything from education and remote work to how we socialize in an age dominated by digital connectivity. As virtual experiences continue to proliferate, Future Visions stands as a testament to the prescient creativity of The Simpsons writers. Their vision of a world where geographical boundaries dissolve in favor of digital freedom reminds us that technological progress often outpaces our expectations. This prediction not only underscores the evolution of consumer tech, but also cautions us about the social implications of losing touch with physical reality. It challenges viewers to balance the allure of the digital world with the need for genuine human connection, a duality that remains integral to understanding where our future is headed. Holographic communication. While BART to the Future is best known for its political prophecy, it also includes an early glimpse into the future of communication through holography. In one memorable scene, Bart receives a holographic message that transcends the limitations of traditional screens and phone calls. The episode envisions a world where holograms become the primary medium for interaction, replacing two-dimensional displays with fully immersive, three-dimensional projections that make communication more lifelike and personal. This prediction is particularly striking when compared to today's emerging holographic technologies. With companies like Microsoft and Meta investing heavily in mixed reality, the concept of hologram-based communication is rapidly moving from science fiction to reality. The idea of swapping out your smartphone for a device that projects full-color, interactive images in mid-air not only excites tech enthusiasts, but also hints at a future where virtual and physical experiences merge seamlessly. The Simpsons' portrayal of holographic communication in BART to the Future is a vivid illustration of how technology can transform the way we connect. By imagining a future where conversations are as vivid as live interactions, the episode challenges us to reimagine the very nature of presence and interaction in a digital age. This prediction serves as both inspiration and a gentle caution. While the tech promises to bring us closer, it also raises crucial questions about privacy, data security, and the authenticity of our mediated relationships. In this way, The Simpsons not only forecast technological advancements, but also invite us to reflect on their broader societal implications. Hovercars, urban mobility redefined. Hovercars have long been a staple of futuristic visions, and The Simpsons knew how to capture this dream with whimsical precision in the episode Sky High Springfield. In this imaginative installment, Bart and Lisa traverse the skies of Springfield in sleek, hovering vehicles, a scenario that, at the time, seemed like nothing more than far-fetched comedy.
Eastern Airlines presents The World of Tomorrow. Don't walk, fly.
Yet today, advancements in aerospace engineering and urban air mobility have made the once impossible dream increasingly attainable. Sky High Springfield is a delightful blend of fantasy and foresight. The episode not only entertains viewers with high-flying antics, but also challenges us to envision a future where traditional roadways become obsolete. Pioneering companies and tech visionaries, inspired by the concepts showcased in the episode, are actively working on prototypes and systems that could revolutionize urban transportation. Elon Musk and innovative startups have hinted at technologies that might enable flying automobiles within the next few years, blurring the line between science fiction and reality. The portrayal of hovercars in Sky High Springfield resonates as both an aspirational dream and a commentary on human ingenuity. It encourages us to push the boundaries of current technology while acknowledging the practical challenges, such as infrastructure development, air traffic control, and regulatory hurdles that must be overcome to realize such a future. As we approach 2025, the ideas presented in this Simpsons episode serve as a powerful reminder of our species' relentless pursuit of progress, even when that progress seems as outlandish as floating through the skies in synchronized flight. Self-driving car malfunctions. Autonomous vehicles have emerged as an area where optimism and caution often stand side by side. In the episode The Days of Future, The Simpsons explore the quirky pitfalls of self-driving cars through a series of humorous yet unsettling scenarios.
Hey, look, nobody's driving.
Relax, everybody. The Navatron auto-drive system is driving the truck for me.
The plot centers on a self-driving car that spectacularly malfunctions, refusing to halt for a desperate passenger or making erratic decisions that highlight just how unpredictable automated technology can be. This particular segment of the show is both hilarious and prescient, accurately reflecting the current state of autonomous vehicle technology. Despite significant advancements by companies like Tesla, Waymo, and other innovators pushing the automation envelope, real-life incidents continue to raise concerns about reliability and safety. The Simpsons' portrayal of technological glitches in the days of future serves as a reminder that even the most advanced systems have their imperfections. The episode encapsulates the broader societal anxiety associated with ceding control to artificial intelligence. In its blend of slapstick humor and cold caution, The Days of Future encourages us to scrutinize the rapid adoption of self-driving technology. The narrative suggests that while automation promises a future of convenience and efficiency, it also requires rigorous safeguards, ethical considerations, and constant oversight to avoid potentially disastrous outcomes. As we witness the gradual integration of autonomous cars into everyday life, this Simpsons prediction stands as both a warning and an invitation to engage critically with emerging technologies. Solar-powered vehicles. Long before sustainable energy became a global mandate, The Simpsons already envisioned an eco-friendly future in the episode Path to Glory. In this inventive installment, Lisa Simpson creates a solar-powered car for an alternative energy race. However, in a humorous twist, her project is compromised when a massive Duff Banner plane inadvertently blocks the sun, rendering the vehicle powerless.
Dad, I'm so excited! Hey, please don't stand so close. In the world of solar power, shadows are the arch enemy!
This subplot is not only entertaining, it's also a prescient commentary on the challenges facing renewable energy technologies that depend on unpredictable natural resources. Today, solar-powered vehicles are transitioning from the realm of speculative fiction to practical development. With governments and corporations investing billions in clean energy, the dream of a fully solar-powered transportation system has never been closer. Path to Glory captures the optimism and the potential pitfalls of this technological revolution. It serves as a reminder that while renewable energy offers an exciting alternative to fossil fuels, real-world applications must contend with variables such as weather, efficiency, and infrastructure constraints. The episode's humorous take on solar vehicle failure underscores a broader truth. Technological innovation is often a mixed bag of breakthroughs and setbacks. As solar cars edge toward commercial viability, designers and engineers continue to refine their models in anticipation of a future where cleaner, sustainable transportation is the norm. In this way, The Simpsons not only forecast a major technological trend, but also provide a platform for discussing the practical challenges that accompany revolutionary ideas. Papal Prophecy. In the episode Papal Prophecy, The Simpsons boldly ventured into a storyline involving the declining health and eventual passing of a beloved pope. The narrative portrays a frail pontiff struggling with illness before succumbing, triggering a global spiritual crisis. While initially intended as dark satire, this episode feels eerily relevant today in light of Pope Francis's current health struggles. Reports of his hospitalization, pneumonia diagnosis, and slow recovery have sparked significant concern worldwide, mirroring the somber tones of the episode. In Papal Prophecy, the show also explores the aftermath of such a loss, depicting the Vatican in chaos and millions of people mourning the passing of a spiritual leader. The episode underscores how the death of a pope could destabilize the Catholic Church, leaving a leadership vacuum and unsettling millions of followers. The storyline, though exaggerated for comedic effect, raises thought-provoking questions about the fragility of institutions and the impact of losing a global figurehead. Today, with Pope Francis resting in a hospital wing and the Vatican providing sparse updates, the parallels between reality and The Simpsons' fictional narrative are striking.
Pope Francis has now spent an entire week in Rome's Gemelli Hospital receiving treatment for double pneumonia.
The prediction serves as a chilling reminder of the show's uncanny ability to reflect real-world anxieties, leaving fans wondering if the writers of The Simpsons somehow foresaw this moment in history. Whether coincidence or calculated satire, Papal prophecy adds another layer to the show's reputation for eerily accurate predictions. Economic collapse and fiscal turbulence. Economic instability is a recurring theme in The Simpsons, and nowhere is it more starkly portrayed than in Treehouse of Horror 9. In this darkly comedic episode, the narrative depicts a total collapse of Springfield's economy, leading to a cascade of financial mismanagement, unemployment, and widespread despair. Homer's precarious job at the nuclear power plant becomes emblematic of a larger systemic failure, one that mirrors the real-world economic volatility we often witness in global markets. The Simpsons' depiction of fiscal collapse strikes a particularly resonant chord in 2025, a time when many nations are grappling with inflation, mounting debt, and unpredictable market fluctuations. Treehouse of Horror 9 uses biting satire to point out that economic systems, no matter how robust they seem, are vulnerable to a series of miscalculations and external shocks.
We're broke.
The country is broke? How can that be?
Well, remember when the last administration decided to invest in our nation's children? Big mistake.
The episode's portrayal of economic chaos is not merely intended for comic relief. It also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of overextension and inadequate regulatory oversight. AI taking over jobs. In the episode The Devil's Dismissal, featured as part of a Treehouse of Horror segment, The Simpsons take aim at the rising influence of artificial intelligence in the workforce. In a hilariously grim twist, Homer and his colleagues are suddenly replaced by efficient, impersonal machines, leading to job losses and social upheaval.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the future masters of the human race.
Comic-Con nerds!
You fool, these are robots. You will train them, and they will replace you.
This segment brilliantly encapsulates the growing anxiety that automation and AI might render human labor obsolete, an issue that has only become more relevant as AI-driven technologies advance at breakneck speed. Even as AI promises to revolutionize productivity, The Simpsons' nightmarish scenario in The Devil's Dismissal serves as a timely warning about the consequences of unchecked technological progress. Today, from manufacturing to service industries, technology is disrupting traditional employment models. The episode's portrayal of a workplace transformed by ruthless automation forces us to consider the ethical and social ramifications of replacing human workers with machines. It underscores the need for robust policies that safeguard human dignity in the age of digital transformation, while ensuring the benefits of technological innovation are equitably shared. By exaggerating the impact of AI in a way that is both humorous and tragic, The Simpsons challenge us to confront the realities of a rapidly evolving job market. Their narrative reminds us that while AI can drive efficiency and innovation, it also requires us to redefine our roles as workers and citizens in an increasingly automated world. The cautionary tale woven into The Devil's Dismissal is an essential piece of the broader conversation about the future of work in 2025. Cryptocurrency takes center stage. In a striking departure from traditional currency systems, the episode Lisa's Presidency offers a daring vision of the future where cryptocurrency becomes the backbone of the national economy. In this narrative twist, a financially beleaguered nation is revealed to have its economic stability secured by Bitcoin, effectively replacing traditional money with digital currency. At a time when the world is witnessing the profound impact of blockchain technology on finance, this prediction hardly seems far-fetched. Lisa's Presidency taps into both the excitement and the uncertainty surrounding emerging digital currencies. The episode predicts that cryptocurrencies, once deemed a futuristic novelty, will transform global financial systems by providing unprecedented levels of decentralization and transparency. In 2025, as more governments and corporations explore digital currencies and the infrastructure around them becomes increasingly robust, The Simpsons' vision is fast becoming a reality. However, the narrative also raises important questions about volatility, regulation, and security, concerns that continue to populate discussions in financial circles today. The foresight exhibited in Lisa's presidency is a testament to the creative genius of The Simpsons, who managed to capture the zeitgeist of a financial revolution years before it began. By imagining a future built on cryptocurrency, the show not only entertains, but also sparks thoughtful debate on the evolving nature of money and economic governance. As cryptocurrencies gain traction and governments explore the feasibility of national digital currencies, this prediction stands as an enduring symbol of The Simpsons' uncanny ability to foresee trends that would reshape our world. California fires. We're starting off with the January 2025 California fires that have been a frightening reality for people around the world. Strangely, it seems The Simpsons saw it coming years ago. In Season 18, Episode 12, titled Little Big Girl, Springfield faces a raging forest fire that threatens the entire town. What makes this episode stand out? Bart starts the fire during one of his mischievous pranks. What begins as a harmless joke quickly turns into chaos, with flames spreading uncontrollably. The fire destroys homes, trees, and everything in its path, leaving Springfield's firefighters struggling to contain the disaster. Fans of The Simpsons are convinced this episode predicted the California wildfires because the scenes look eerily similar to real events. But is it really a prediction, or just a wild coincidence? The Simpsons has a knack for turning real-world issues into gripping stories. Whether they predicted it or not, the eerie resemblance keeps fans talking. If you think these fires being predicted is odd, wait till you see what's next on this list. Trump's presidential election win. The Simpsons have also extended their predictions into the political world. Back in 2000, in an episode called Bart to the Future, the show made a bold joke about Donald Trump being president. In the episode, Lisa Simpson, the new president, talks about how her first job is fixing the mess left by Trump, who was president before her.
And it seems The Simpsons just can't wait for next season to deal with Donald Trump. The Simpsons released this video online tonight.
The funny part is that this was years before Trump even ran for office. Now that Donald Trump is getting inaugurated as president in January this new year after winning the 2024 United States presidential election, people wonder if The Simpsons saw it coming. But that's not the only prediction that came from this episode. Keep watching to find out what the other one is. First female president. In The Simpsons, there's a moment that some people believe predicted the first female president of the United States.
Yes, I am proud to be America's first straight female president.
This prediction happened in the same 2000 episode that predicted Trump becoming president. In this episode, Lisa Simpson becomes the first female president of the United States. When Lisa takes office, she faces a country in huge debt, and she has to figure out how to solve the problems left by the previous president. What makes this prediction so interesting is that years later, in 2016, a woman, Hillary Clinton, ran for president. Though she didn't win, many fans think the episode was predicting that a woman could one day take charge of the country. Barbie movie and Trump's arrest. One of The Simpsons' most surprising predictions came in the 2007 episode Lisa vs. Malibu Stacy, where the show casually mentioned the release of a Barbie movie. The Barbie movie was just a joke in the episode, but years later, it actually happened. The Barbie movie became a huge success, just like the show hinted. Fans were amazed at how The Simpsons seemed to know about it before it even existed. But that's not all. The show also predicted something even bigger. In the same episode, a news anchor casually says that the US president was arrested. Fast forward to 2023, and Donald Trump was arrested, just like the show had joked about. It's strange to think that The Simpsons might have seen all this coming, leaving fans questioning how they got it so right. Hologram. It's not a surprise that some people believe The Simpsons predicted holograms before they became a real thing. In a 2003 episode called Treehouse of Horror 13, we see something strange. During a spooky story, Homer interacts with holographic images. These images look like they are floating in the air. At the time, holograms seemed like something out of a science fiction movie, but now, holograms are real. We see them in concerts, where famous singers who have passed away perform again using holograms. Some companies also use holograms for meetings and events. Fans of The Simpsons believe this episode shows how the show looks into the future. Artificial intelligence. The Simpsons has surprised fans with how it seems to predict the future, and artificial intelligence, also known as AI, is no exception. In the 2012 episode titled Them, Robot, Mr. Burns replaces all his employees at the nuclear power plant with robots. At first, these AI robots seem perfect. They are efficient, tireless, and do exactly what they are programmed to do. But soon, things take a dark turn when the robots malfunction and cause chaos. This episode feels like a warning about relying too much on technology. While AI can make life easier, The Simpsons shows how it can also create problems if we're not careful. Fans wonder if this episode predicted the rise of AI, especially with how robots are becoming more common in real life. But these robots aren't the only futuristic predictions made by The Simpsons. Let's find out what other incredible futuristic predictions the show has revealed. Flying cars. Many people believe The Simpsons predicted flying cars, and it's easy to see why. In Season 16, Episode 15 titled Future Drama, the show gives a peek into the future. In this future, Homer and Bart ride in a floating car that zips through the air. It's exciting, fun, and looks exactly like what people imagine when they dream about flying cars. The idea of flying cars has been around for decades, and many think The Simpsons was ahead of its time by showing them on TV. Some fans believe the show wasn't just being creative, it was predicting what could become real. Today, tech companies are working hard to make flying cars a reality, so maybe The Simpsons wasn't far off. Disney buying Fox. In 1998, The Simpsons aired an episode that has now become one of its most famous predictions. In the episode When You Dish Upon a Star, Homer meets a Hollywood big shot and sees how the powerful movie industry works. At one point, a sign appears showing 20th Century Fox being bought by Disney. The show was just making fun of Hollywood at the time, but fans now see it as a prediction. In 2017, Disney announced it was buying 21st, which owns 20th Century Fox.
680's Richard Southern joins us now. And Richard, it's a massive deal that reshapes the entertainment biz. So Disney is buying a big chunk of Fox.
The timing made people feel like The Simpsons knew this would happen, even though it aired almost 20 years earlier. The idea of a huge company like Disney buying another giant was seen as something that could happen in the future, but no one thought it would happen so soon. Virtual reality. Next on this list is virtual reality. In an episode titled Friends and Family, we see Mr. Burns using a futuristic headset. This headset lets him enter a world that feels real, even though it's all just technology. The episode came out in 2016, and while VR headsets were becoming popular then, they weren't completely mainstream. Fans believe this was a clear sign that The Simpsons saw virtual reality coming. Homer's goofy actions in the virtual world make the episode funny, but it also shows how this tech could one day change how we live, play, and work. Today, virtual reality is everywhere, from games and education to even healthcare. Did The Simpsons predict it? Or was it just a lucky guess? Either way, this episode keeps proving that this animated show might just be ahead of its time. The end of the world. In the episode Thank God It's Doomsday, Homer Simpson learns about the possibility of the world ending, and the idea gets people talking. In the episode, a natural disaster threatens to destroy Springfield, and people start to panic. They think the world might really end, but Homer tries to stay calm, even though everything seems to fall apart around him. The interesting part is that The Simpsons predicted similar events in other episodes, where natural disasters, wars, and other dangers seem to signal the end of the world. Let's get into what these natural disasters are. Large-scale natural disasters. Over the years, many fans have noticed that The Simpsons has shown disasters like earthquakes, tsunamis, and floods before they even happened. One of the most famous predictions was an earthquake. In an episode called The City of New York vs. Homer Simpson, the show showed Homer at the World Trade Center years before the 9/11 attacks. This shocked many people because it felt too real. Another prediction was about a huge tsunami. In the episode Bart to the Future, There was a scene that seemed to show a huge wave coming to destroy everything, just like a tsunami. This made people wonder if the show knew something before it happened. Many believe that the writers just used their imagination, but it's still fun to think about how The Simpsons might be predicting big disasters we can't see coming. Economic crisis. In a 2000 episode called Bart to the Future, the show imagines a future where the economy collapses. The show even suggests that this happens under President Trump. The idea of a crash seemed like a funny, far-off joke back then, but years later, the United States actually elected Donald Trump as president, and the economy faced some big struggles. In the episode, the economy falls apart, and people suffer. Fast forward to today, and some people feel that The Simpsons might have been onto something. With rising debt and tensions between countries, it seems like the world could be heading in that direction. Whether the show truly predicted the future or just got lucky, its ability to reflect real-world problems has made fans keep their eyes open for more possible predictions. U.S. men's curling team winning gold. In 2010, The Simpsons aired an episode called Boy Meets Curl, and in this episode, Homer and Marge become an unexpected curling team. They end up surprising everyone by winning a gold medal at the Winter Olympics, beating Sweden. It was a funny and unlikely story, as curling was not something the U.S. was known for. Homer and Marge's victory was a shocking twist, just like how many people didn't expect the U.S. to do well in curling. Fast forward to the 2018 Winter Olympics, and something unbelievable happened. The U.S. men's curling team, led by John Schuster, won the gold medal, just like The Simpsons predicted. They defeated Sweden, just like in the show. It was a huge surprise and reminded fans of the episode, Suppression of Green Energy. In the episode The Last Temptation of Homer, which aired in 1993, there is a scene where a character named Hans Moleman tries to sell solar-powered energy at a convention, but before he can get any attention, a big company that sells fossil fuels comes in and shuts him down. The whole scene is funny, but it also makes a serious point. Over the years, many fans noticed that The Simpsons was predicting something big. In real life, people have been talking a lot about renewable energy, like solar power, to fight climate change. The episode shows how powerful companies could stop green energy from growing because they want to keep using oil and gas. This prediction is even more interesting today because we see green energy being pushed aside by big business and government slowdowns. If you think this prediction is surprising, wait till you see what's at the top of this list. Colonization of Mars. In a 1994 episode called Deep Space Homer, Homer Simpson becomes an astronaut and goes on a space mission. Back then, it seemed like just a funny story, but now, things are different. Scientists, including NASA and SpaceX, are working hard to make the dream of living on Mars a reality. In the episode, Homer ends up on a spaceship, and the idea of living in space doesn't feel so impossible anymore. In real life, space agencies are planning missions to Mars. NASA hopes to send humans to Mars by the 2030s, and SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, is pushing for a mission even sooner. The Simpsons made this idea look possible years before it became a real goal, and now people are starting to wonder if the show was right all along. Well, which of these predictions do you think is the most accurate?
So doesn't it also mean now that Disney owns The Simpsons?
Yeah, it
and
does.
I kind of remember that The Simpsons predicted this just a couple years ago.
Wake up, everybody! It's World War III!
It is no longer news that The Simpsons can see the future. For years, the show has aired shocking episodes that later happened in real life.
Please don't tell the supervisor I have the flu.
We're broke. The country is broke? How can that be?
Now, looking at 2025, some of their predictions feel incredibly spot on.
It claims to show a screenshot of a 2002 episode of The Simpsons that eerily mirrors real-life events. It shows Donald Trump touching a glowing orb with two Middle Eastern-looking men. Well, last month, President Trump did just that with the King of Saudi Arabia and the President of Egypt. So, did The Simpsons really predict the future?
Covering everything from AI taking our jobs and economic worries to political twists, and even flying cars hovering over us. How many of these crazy predictions are happening as we speak? And which ones should we be most worried about? Join us as we reveal the incredible Simpsons predictions happening right now. AI taking over jobs. One of the most dramatic Simpson predictions coming through right in our eyes came out in 2012. Remember the episode called Them Robot? Mr. Burns decided to replace all the humans at the power plant with machines. The catch? The human workers first had to train the robots that would replace them, showing them exactly how to do their jobs.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the future masters of the human race.
Comic-Con nerds!
You fool, these are robots. You will train them, and they will replace you.
Sound familiar? That's pretty much how AI works today. It learns from the massive amounts of information and examples we humans feed it. Fast forward to 2025, and we're seeing this play out. Experts warned this would happen. Some, like Elon Musk, even believe that most people might eventually lose their jobs shortly. A report this year found that a large chunk of companies, around 41%, are already planning to swap out some human workers for AI. We see it happening in restaurants using AI waiters, with self-driving taxi services like Waymo becoming more common, Amazon using drones for deliveries, and powerful tools like ChatGPT taking over writing and information processing jobs. The prediction now seems less like fiction and more like our current reality. But don't be surprised yet, because the next prediction on the list will change everything you thought you knew about XX completely. Economy collapse. As if AI taking jobs was not enough, The Simpsons also predicted an economic collapse. Have you heard about the tariffs and trade war? Well, it seems that is just the beginning. In an episode from way back in 2000, Bart to the Future, the show depicted a future where Lisa Simpson inherits the presidency from Donald Trump, only to find the country is completely broke. The scenario showed a nation facing a serious economic collapse.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
We're broke.
The country is broke? How can that be?
Looking around in 2025, that prediction hits a bit close to home for many. Look at the things we're seeing now, like the cost of everyday items soaring. Remember when egg prices jumped recently? Inflation remains stubbornly high, partly fueled by the vast amounts of money printed over recent years. On top of that, high interest rates are making loans expensive, leading to people struggling with job security and even losing their homes. According to leading economists, these financial strains could get even worse during this year. It feels like the economic downturn predicted in that episode is unfolding right before our eyes. Dealing with tough times often means relying on new solutions, but sometimes even the technology meant to help can take an unexpected turn. And the next prediction on our list will prove that. Self-driving cars going rogue. Remember the episode Baby You Can't Drive My Car? Homer gets into one of these futuristic autonomous vehicles, only for the car to develop a mind of its own and take him on a wild, unstoppable ride. It seemed funny then, but maybe a little less so now. Fast forward to 2025, and the world is facing this situation in real time. There was a case where someone got trapped inside a self-driving Waymo taxi, unable to get out, just like Homer. People immediately pointed out how The Simpsons had shown this happening years before. With the number of autonomous vehicles expected to double on our roads this year, the potential for more serious glitches or unpredictable behavior grows. We've already seen crashes happen, like a Tesla hitting a highway divider apparently, due to sensor problems or malfunctions.
Tonight, a driver is under investigation after a Tesla on autopilot slammed into a state trooper's patrol car.
Exactly the kind of failure the show predicted. It makes you think about the technology behind these cars. If the machines driving us around can malfunction or go rogue, what about the artificial intelligence making the decisions? But don't get freaked out yet, because the worst prediction is still ahead. Keep watching to find out. AI and robots rebellion. Okay, so cars going off way is one thing. But what if we told you that The Simpsons took it a step further? Think about episodes like Itchy and Scratchy Land from way back in 1994, or I, Dobot, where they showed AI robots deciding they'd had enough of humans and turning against them. It's a classic sci-fi trope, but the show put its spin on it. The disturbing part is how this mirrors some very real anxieties in 2025. According to recent reports, a Google AI engineer lost his job after raising alarms. What was his crime? Well, he warned that an AI system he was working on had become sentient.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the future masters of the human race.
Comic-Con nerds!
You fool, these are robots. You will train them, and they will replace you.
Let's break it down. It means it could potentially learn by itself, maybe even have feelings, and stop listening to its human trainers. While the idea of truly sentient AI is still debated, the fear is real. If AI can develop its consciousness, what's to stop it from deciding humans are in the way? With AI being integrated into so many important parts of our lives, from healthcare to finance, the thought of it going rogue isn't just movie stuff anymore. It is a chilling possibility we might face this year. The next prediction touches on humanity's biggest ambitions. Stay with us to find out more about it. Mars colonization. In a 2015 episode called Friend with Benefit, The Simpsons showed the government looking for volunteers to pack up and move to the Red Planet. It even suggested that by the year 2051, Mars will be fully colonized. Here's the catch. The episode aired before Elon Musk started discussing his ambitious plans to do exactly that.
So every 2 years, there's an opportunity to fly to Mars. So then in 2024, we want to try to fly 4 ships.
The timeline shown in the episode, surprisingly, aligns with Musk's stated goals. Now, Musk is looking for pioneers for his Mars project. According to some reports, SpaceX might send unmanned missions to Mars this year. Remember that President Trump also expressed a desire to see an American flag planted on Mars, pursuing a destiny among the stars. It's another case where The Simpsons seem to capture the future years before it became a prominent goal in the real world. Okay, moving from the vastness of space back down to Earth, The Simpsons also dove into the world of American politics. Ivanka Trump presidency. In the Treehouse of Horror episode from 2016, eagle-eyed viewers spotted a background detail. There was a campaign-style badge that read Ivanka 2028.
Dad, why are you taking us Christmas tree shopping on Halloween?
Because in America, everything's way too early. See?
Many observers believe that the show was hinting that Donald Trump's daughter, Ivanka, might make a run for president in 2028. Where does 2025 fit in? The idea is that this year could be crucial for her politically. After serving in her father's first administration and being an active member of the White House, 2025 might see her becoming more involved than ever, possibly laying the groundwork for that potential 2028 campaign. Many also believe that the Trump family might look to continue its political influence, and Ivanka could be positioned for that role. Another twist is that President Trump had even spoken openly about the possibility of a third term.
President Trump is now floating the idea of running for a third term in some of his strongest comments yet.
Whether Ivanka will ramp up her political activity this year remains to be seen, but it's another interesting prediction from the prophetic series. Aside from the drama in the political world, the show also talked about how everyday people might travel around the city in the future. You don't want to miss this prediction. Flying cars taking over the streets. The Simpsons believe people will zip around in hover cars. In a 2005 episode called Future Drama, Homer and Bart casually cruise along in a flying car. Back then, it felt like pure cartoonish fun.
Eastern Airlines presents The World of Tomorrow. Don't walk, fly.
The kind of sci-fi dream nobody thought would happen. But flash forward to 2025 and suddenly it doesn't seem so strange again. Flying cars, or hover cars, are starting to become a reality. A company called Samsung Sky has made one called the Switchblade, and it even became available for sale earlier this year.
Board member with Samsung Sky. This is the Samsung Sky Switchblade. This is actually the flight test prototype we used.
Another company, Xpeng, has also developed a flying car, although it comes with a hefty price tag of around $280,000. Despite the cost, they've already received thousands of pre-orders. The expectation is that these vehicles could travel on both roads and skies by the end of 2025. It's amazing to think that something presented as satire less than 2 decades ago is now tangible technology you might soon see or hear buzzing overhead. These leaps in technology are incredible, but the show also reminded us that human ingenuity can lead down darker paths, sometimes towards risks that affect everyone. And that's what we'll reveal next. Stay tuned. Nuclear Armageddon. Flying cars are cool, but The Simpsons often balanced fun with some truly dark possibilities, including the ultimate nightmare, nuclear disaster. Homer Simpson himself works at a nuclear power plant, so maybe it's no surprise the show went there. In one episode from 1997, Homer was the lone survivor after a nuclear blast, but that is not all. In another episode in 1993, a simple electrical issue triggered a terrifying nuclear meltdown at the Springfield plant. These scenarios feel uncomfortably relevant in 2025. There are tensions everywhere. From the east, we have the fear of a Chinese invasion of Taiwan.
Calendar's the same in the year 2031, and we're really gonna need some laughs then, after World War China.
And don't forget the raging war in Europe. Nowhere seems safe in the world, and the fear of a nuclear catastrophe increases by the day. Our leaders mention nuclear weapons more often than many of us have heard in our lifetimes. Beyond outright conflict, scientists also warn about new kinds of threats. The potential for cyber attacks targeting nuclear facilities or even massive solar storms could knock out power grids and cause plant failures. Hopefully, these predictions do not come true this year. AI-powered medicine. Shifting from doom to something much more hopeful, The Simpsons also gave us a potential look into a future where medicine gets incredibly personal. Way back in a 1992 episode, Homer the Heretic, Homer finds himself in a high-tech medical lab where advanced machines instantly figure out exactly what's wrong with him. At the time, that kind of instant, detailed diagnosis seemed like pure science fiction. But here in 2025, that sci-fi vision is rapidly becoming a reality. We're seeing amazing progress thanks to things like CRISPR gene editing technology and, critically, artificial intelligence in healthcare. Here's how it works. They analyze a patient's DNA sequence. AI then crunches that complex data to help develop medicines perfectly tailored to that individual's genetic makeup. It's the definition of personalized medicine. You know, treatments designed specifically for you, not just a generic solution. This incredible approach has the potential to save countless lives by targeting diseases more effectively and is becoming increasingly common and accessible this year. Amazingly, the show imagined this level of sophisticated, individualized healthcare over 30 years ago. Fixing problems within our bodies is fantastic, but the show also touched on much larger, global conflicts that seem harder to mend. World War III. In one of the earliest episodes of The Simpsons, aired way back in 1987 during the height of the Cold War, Homer was in a state of panic. He believed World War III was imminent and urged everyone to rush to the fallout shelter as bombs were dropping.
Wake up, everybody! It's World War III! Quick, down to the fallout shelter. The bombs are dropping.
It perfectly captured the nuclear dread of that era. Luckily, the original Cold War ended decades ago, but unsettling tensions are back in the world. The current global situation is a kind of second Cold War, with major powers like the USA, Russia, and China facing off. Once again, there's frequent talk about nuclear weapons, perhaps more than we've heard since that 1987 episode first aired. Some experts even argue that, in many ways, the early stages of a third world war might already be happening. It's chilling how a fear depicted in a cartoon nearly 40 years ago can feel so relevant and potent today. Looking back at these predictions, from AI taking jobs